Howdy y'all, and welcome back to Cup of Cheer. So, as some of you may know, but some of you may not, my mom has been taking Croatian or Hrvatski lessons to learn the language of Croatia, Hrvatski. And it's been really fascinating watching and helping her with her journey to learn the language this last year. And one of the classes that, all of this is online by the way, that she's taking these classes in. And one of them happened to be a day of baking cookies. And interestingly enough, it was to bake a specifically Christmas time delicacy. And it was not actually being baked originally at Christmas, but we were getting a foreshadowing of what was to come. And I just loved being able to partake in part of her learning, but also in learning a little bit more about the culture myself too, and how to make a little piece of their traditions at home here in the US. For those of you who don't know, part of my heritage is also Croatian, which is why we're on this little journey right now. And so I wanted to share a piece of it with you. Obviously, I don't have smell-o-vision, and I can't exactly give you a treat through the camera, but I wanted to share with you a bit of what this is. So this is kind of what it should look like. Now, typically in Croatia, these cookies would be made by pressing the dough into a mold and then popping that cookie out and baking all of these molded cookies on a cookie sheet. And you would then eat the nice, slightly crisp, slightly soft cookie. I am probably going to not pronounce this super well, but these are called papranaci. Forgive me if I did that wrongly, but I did my best. I love these cookies, and I love these partially because it kind of is a little glimpse into how different cultures do sweets at Christmas. And here's how I see these cookies. You see, in the United States, we have gingerbread that we tend to make into cookies and make gingerbread men and women and sometimes gingerbread houses. However, gingerbread can also be a very soft bread. But in America, we tend to use gingerbread to make cookies, a little crispier and definitely more spicy than our typical sugary cookies, like chocolate chip cookies or sugar cookies. In Germany, they have Pfeffernuss, literally translated partially to mean pepper cookies. And in Croatia, they have these. I'll try it one more time. Papranaci, which also is a spiced cookie. This is not a sweet cookie because honestly, in a lot of Europe, that still holds to older recipes and older taste buds. They don't pour a ton of sugar in it like the United States does. There's still definitely sugar in these cookies, but it really leans more into the spice of the cookie. And so I found it rather comical when we were all making these cookies over Zoom, and different places, some students were from the United States, some were from Australia, and different parts of the United States. And the most common comment after they were finished baking and got to try a little taste of it was, "These aren't very sweet," which they aren't. They are spiced cookies. And our American taste buds are not used to this very much. Every single student in the United States wanted to figure out a way to make this sweeter, whether it was to put royal icing on it, dip it in chocolate, completely change the recipe to basically have very little spice whatsoever. It was really interesting to me and made me giggle, just really kind of getting a better understanding of really how where you live can really shape what Christmas even tastes like to you. And this little cookie was an aha moment to me about that, because while we do have a spiced cookie, we sugar that sucker up. We put royal icing on those. We put every other kind of icing. We dip it in things. We make sure it is well and sugared. But in a lot of parts of Europe, and very likely other countries, I just haven't gotten to experience their cultures and traditions as well as I have in the European to American ones. They just like the cookie for what it is. They like the spice. And if you added a lot of sugar on their cookies, they'd probably be not enjoying the experience either. So what is the taste of Christmas for you? Is it more spicy? Is it more sugary? Is it somewhere in between, maybe a savory taste for you? I'm genuinely curious now because this little cookie has really opened my eyes to just kind of a fun side of Christmas that I hadn't thought too much about before. From me and mine, to you and yours, a very Merry Christmas and a cup of good cheer. Or, as they say in Croatia, Sretan Božić. Mwah! Okay.